Hey guys, Such a Warmonger here, and you're watching 3 versus 3 Siege of Jerusalem. This is a player versus player, attackers versus defenders game. The attackers are here on the northwest, and there's 3 of them, and the defenders are in the city. If you look at the point of view of the defenders, you can see that they only own these buildings, the production buildings, some tents, and some other stuff. The attackers start with these merchant spies. They're already being hunted down. Sometimes the defenders don't notice them and then they can live a lot longer, but this player really cares about killing them, which makes sense. They have really high pierce armor and high melee, so they can last a long time. And they also have really high vision, as you can see. So anyway, the whole point of the game is for the attackers to get 30 units in this Dome of the Rock area. One of them at least. And then it has to be uncontested, which means no defending units can be in there with them. And the defenders have to hold out for 45 minutes. Alright, so the defenders have killed the merchant spies, at least. I think they have. There's one left. Like, I didn't even know that. Where is it? Oh, he's here. Nice job. Really good. So this is the point of view of attackers. Player 1. Oh, is player 1. Playing as the Templars, I believe. So the Templars, if you pick Burmese, they've been renamed and reconfigured to be the Templars. They get Order Pikemen, which are like halberdiers, basically almost exactly the same, except no bonus damage to buildings, I don't think. And then they also get Templar Knights. These are high damage, lower health cavalry. And inside these siege towers are also Templar Knights, but they look like Teutonic Knights. They have higher damage but lower melee armor, and they're faster. But they also have higher pierce armor. So there they are. These are the Templar Knights. That's player 1 orange. Player 2 yellow is playing as the Koreans, which have been renamed to the Ayyubids. Everything about the Koreans is the same, except for they get these... I forgot what they're called. But basically they have high pierce armor and bonus damage versus siege. They have 80 HP, so they're still... You can still kill them. Relatively easy, but it's harder for ranged units to kill them. So they're kind of like a run in, kill siege, and run out unit. They're very good at taking out onagers and trebuchets. Player 3 is playing as a Spanish. You can see, you notice these Genitor looking guys are doing a lot of damage, because the Spanish are almost exactly the same, except for the fact that their unique unit, instead of a Conquistador, it's been reskinned to these guys. Everything is exactly the same, except for the fact that they do not have a bonus versus siege anymore. They used to have a bonus versus siege. And then they also are now 100% accurate. So you could argue they're better, but they're also worse at killing siege, so they could be worse. Depends on how you look at it. Okay, looks like these guys are coming in and killing siege. You can see how quickly the siege is going down. See? These Ayyubid unique units are very good at taking down siege. Oh. I use siege towers to come in and try to kill some of these onagers. I'm player orange, by the way. So if I say I did this, that's what I mean. Orange player. Iabid's doing even a better job killing even more siege, so opening up this front fairly quickly. Now these are, remember, these are like conquistadors. They have very high damage. Oh, one more shot. There you go. So the reason why we're prioritizing, as the attackers, prioritizing onagers and things like that, is because this map doesn't have any gunpowder. So there are no bombard cannons, no hand cannoneers, no Portuguese units, etc., etc. So he's using like Spanish champions as cannon fodder, I guess. Try to kill some guys, but these units are on the high ground, and this is low ground, so not sure that was worth it. But we are taking out the center gate. It's called St. Stephen's Gate by the Crusaders. It's called the Damascus Gate by most people. And it goes down. Now this could be a disaster. Oh boy. Another change of the Spanish that he's probably not aware of is the Spanish archers have been updated to be better. I'm running in to kill more of these onagers because I do care about killing onagers. I think it's worth losing a bunch of Templar Knights if I kill even more onagers. It's definitely worth it. Because the defenders can't build rams or siege towers. They can only build scorpions, trebuchets, and onagers. And then all those 3 units are built in the siege workshop, so that's another change. You can build trebuchets in the siege workshop, not in the castle. So our plan of attack was to open up a few fronts. Looks like there's a flank from the blue player. So this is player 6, he's playing as the Franks. This is a good flank, he's gonna get a few trebuchets. The Franks are exactly the same, except for the fact that their paladin has been reskinned. So it has the exact same stats, attack speed, damage, everything, except the they're called Frankish Knights now. The only difference is that they have +1 armor versus anti-cavalry, so it's almost negligible. So the Franks are pretty much exactly the same, except their units look cooler. These onagers making short work of these French cavalry archers. Not sure why the French are making cavalry archers. That's good progress. Oh, yeah, that's a good shot from the yellow player. So the Koreans still maintain their long-ranged onagers. Now let's go to player 4. Player 4 is playing as the... If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Venetians. No, not the Venetians. It's the Bohemians. So no more super bombard cannons or war wagons for the Bohemians. Instead, their regular archer has been replaced by this Pavise crossbowman. And the Pavise crossbowman has the same pierce armor as a skirmisher. And it's slow firing, but very long range and high damage. So you can see how slow that they fire, but their damage is very high. So they've got very high damage output. And then these Pavise Swordsmen are very good at melee. They are as slow as a Teutonic Knight, but they also have very high pierce armor, also as high as the skirmishers, I believe. And on top of that, they have bonus damage versus archers. And on top of that, they also have splash damage. Okay. Ooh, wow, these are good shots. That's really good shots from this onager. Korean onager, very, very good. Now, the Spanish player, which have been renamed to Navarro, is deciding to attack the Tower of David. This is the Tower of David. So each defending player gets 2 castles, which amounts to 40 population. And their unique units are built here. Like I said, the trebuchets are not built here. They're built in the siege workshop up here. But the unique units are built here, plus 40 population. So still an important point to try to protect. So the fighting has slowed down a bit. So I'm going to talk about player 5, which is red. He's just playing as the Italians. Absolutely no change with the Italians. Player 6, I already talked about, he's the French. Now, all players start with a mercenary scout, and it's the fastest unit in the game at 1.65 speed, and pretty high sight range. I think it's 12, just like the merchant spy earlier. So all players have that. So the defenders and the attackers. Okay. Now these moat walls are weak at like 800 HP. And this is not necessarily a good attack because these trebs are still alive and he didn't have any plans. So this might be a huge mistake, honestly. Although the rams are killing the trebuchets, so that's a good thing. Right. Look how long it takes. You saw that Pavise Swordsman take so many arrows and it didn't die right away. So all the trebs are dead. Probably should have waited for that before sending trebs, because now he doesn't have any trebs to take the towers out. These onagers making short work. Look at these Pavise Swordsmen just slaughtering these. They have bonus damage versus archers. I think cavalry archers are included in that. So they're taking so many arrows to take down. You see that? So the splash damage did that much damage around them. So they're very fierce against cavalry in general. What's this? What's happening? Oh! I ran in. Tried to see what I could find. Any targets of opportunity. I tried to just pull forces away from the front, which it seems to be working. Because now the forces are concentrated here. The truth is, a good move is to try to take these tents down. I already talked about population. I'll talk about it more. The attackers... First of all, the defenders should not be going here. Because their units are automatically going to die if they cross this line. So the defenders shouldn't be crossing this line. Because they just die. Trebuchets can't even fire because their projectiles disappear too. The defenders can't attack the attacker camp. Now, back to population. The attackers have 220 population to work with, and the defenders have 200 population to work with. The difference, obviously, is that the attacker camp is invincible because of that line, but the defender camp is vulnerable to attack. So these tents over here, that holds 20 population for the defenders, because there's 4 tents, so 5 population per tent. There's another cluster over here. So it's important to try to protect that if you care about how big your army can get. I'm using my trebs to try to take these onagers down, because I know, you know, these are high priority targets. Now these Italian crossbowmen making short work of my cavalry. Some trebuchets caught out of position. That's bad for player red. This attack completely stalled out. I'm not sure what the point of this sally out was. Maybe it was to hopefully kill trebuchets. I guess it was the point. I'm gonna get 1 trebuchet. I'm not sure that was worth it, losing that much stuff. Well, 2 trebuchets. 3 trebuchets. Okay, that was worth it at this point. Also, losing a lot of high gold conquistadors. Although I am running in and to try to wipe this out. Try to surround them. Take out even more high value onagers. Now, I do not want to deal with these Genoese crossbowmen. So I have to try to run through them or run past them. Not working out though. Not sure what I'm doing actually. I only realize after I lose a whole bunch. Another onager. Get killed. Let's see if we can get this onager too. Nope. Yellow making his way towards these tents, killing trebuchets along the way. Templar Knights and Order Pikemen gonna slaughter these skirmishers. Now this is a mistake. Yellow should have just killed this barricade straight instead of worrying about this tower. Should have just gone straight for the tents right away. That was a mistake from Yellow. And then worry about the tower later on. Green. These are called Navarro Genitors, I think. Having a ranged battle here without their rams aren't partaking in the battle, which is unfortunate. Finally they are. Finally they're taking arrow fire. Yellow finally getting around to taking out the tents, but they're about to be hard countered by these Pavise Swordsmen. Their whole archer army is about to get slaughtered, unfortunately. Here come the Templar Knights fighting the Frankish Knights. Tents finally going down. Running in. These trebs are now in danger from yellow. Entire army slaughtered. Another mistake from green. He should have just killed these tents. Instead, he's... not sure what he's doing, actually. What is he doing? I'm just realizing... the sooner you kill the tents, the sooner the enemy, you know, maxes out on population. So that's very unfortunate. Where is green going? Seriously? Well, these minarets are going down to regular fire. The reason being they're very weak. Oh, green is going for this siege. I see. Meanwhile, I'm trying to go for the tents. Oh no, I'm trying to go for a flank to kill the onagers. This is not a terrible move. I would have liked to have seen this go down and this go down. But he's trying to go for everything. Onagers were taken down from that flank, so that was a good move. Just trying to be active. One siege workshop down. If this goes down, that's very good for us as the attackers. And more populations finally starting to go down. This is a very successful attack. Surprising. What was I doing? I don't know. One more siege workshop to go. Let's see if it works out. Oh no, the Pavise Swordsmen have arrived. So very strong. Fortunately, the damage of these guys is super high, so it sort of negates their power. Finally taking some tents down. Also, Templar Knights just slaughtering these Pavise crossbowmen because they don't care. It's there with a high damage. Oh, targets of opportunity. Very nice. More onagers you take down, the better. Finally gonna take care of these tents. That's really what I want. I want to reduce their population. I also want to take this down. Let's see if I do that. Green bogged down. He's thinking about killing even more castles. Unsupported though. His army should be there to support them. Also, my trebuchets out in the open, unprotected. Very scary. I think I'm gonna lose a lot of them here. 1. This is a good flank from the Frank player. 2. 3. 4. 5. But I am fighting over here. 6. 7. 8. 9. Almost my entire trebuchet army. So, trebuchets are take very long to replenish. They're 100 ticks. So that's like that's 1 full minute in real life per trebuchet. And they are only trained in the siege workshop, not the castle, so very hard to mass. I did take down population here, and I finished the population over here. So that's 20 less population for them to work with. Meanwhile, green is taking care of the castles, but throwing away his paladins. Oh, nice shot against yellow. See, this Italian castle goes down. That's another 20 pop gone. Green, let's see what his plan is. Oh, it's just to redeploy an attack. He should really protect those trebuchets. And here's I was like, I noticed that, so I'm trying to go out and save them, but too little too late. Here comes the entire defending force come to wipe these out. Remember what I talked about, hard to replenish this many trebuchets, so this was a huge loss on our part. Not sure that was worth it. I think he should have pulled back. It's not worth just damaging it. Okay, we took down population up here as the attackers. We didn't finish this. We took down a bunch of siege workshops, but we didn't take down this population. So now they're able to reroute because they noticed they were not really present out here. So they get to concentrate their whole force. Let's look at it from the defender's side now, because something I want to talk about is both players, all players, start with 40,000 wood, food, and gold in the beginning. Now, in the beginning of the game, there were 5 relics over here. They spawned here. And both sides could try to take them. The reason why that is so important is because there's no income for the defenders. So they start with 40,000 wood, food, and gold. But if they want more, they have to get the relics. The only other way for defenders to get money is there's a caravan that comes in the middle of the game. I'll talk about that when it happens. Actually, let me look at the units of the defenders. Might have happened already. Because the caravan comes with a unique unit, so it's already come. So it comes with a bunch of special units, cataphracts, camel archers, lancers, etc. And what the defenders needed to do is bring their trade carts into the dome. So if they get each trade cart that makes it here, this area, gives 2,000 wood, food, and gold to all defenders. And so there's 3 of them. So if all 3 of them are able to do it, then that's a total of 6,000 extra. But that's everything for the defenders. In the meantime, the attackers get a steady flow of 1,500 wood, food, and gold every 3 minutes. And that's the economy side of things. What the attackers can do to try to mess things up for the defenders is take out the markets, and of course take out these monasteries with the relics. So the defenders are losing their tents now. This is a little late. So if the caravan comes at the midpoint, this is after the midpoint. So they've had... This really should have... I think these are gone. This is just a capture age glitch. But they really should have destroyed these much, much earlier. Should have destroyed these much earlier too. So that's unfortunate. Because if you have a full 220 pop fighting only 100 pop, because if they lose the castles, if they lose the tents, they lose the town centers, that's only 100 population left for the defenders. Then it makes it really hard for defenders to win this game, right? So that's why population is so important. Taking out this building so I can make a flank through here, because I think this house is gone. Capture age glitch is showing that it's there, but it's gone. Same with this Vittoria. Archers are making short work of this whole force though, unfortunately. Here come the Templar Knights. They're faster, but weaker. One-on-one, they almost kill a Teutonic Knight, but they lose to the Teutonic Knights. Capture Age glitch. Notice, something I want to talk about is the walls and the towers and the gates and the castles. After this battle, probably, because this seems like an interesting battle. I'm just trying to make space with my trebuchets. Pavise Swordsmen doing their splash damage. We're finally taking out their town centers to reduce their population. Some of them have their castles still, though. So the defenders still have a healthy population amount to work with. Blue trying to make a nice flank with Frankish Knights. But oh, we detected it, so it's been stalled. Meanwhile, we're finally taking out their town centers. Yellow trying to push and make a hole and start gunning for the objective, which is this. See how that works out. Frankish Knight flank has stalled. Okay, I believe all of these are capture age bugs. All of these buildings are down. Yeah, all of these buildings are down. So this is empty ground. So, the blue player has 140 population to work with. The red player has 120 population to work with. Gray player has 140 population to work with. So that's still okay. Yellow has poked a hole in the temple mount. Trying to make it wider. Thinking about assaulting the position now. So, these walls, every one is 20,000 HP. Every tower is 20,000 HP. Every castle is 20,000 HP. Every gate is 20,000 HP. The difference is, everything from what I mentioned has extra building armor except for the gates. This translates to trebuchets being good against all of them, and siege rams only being good against the gates. So it makes for a realistic dynamic. These walls aren't as strong as the outside. They only have 10,000 HP, and then the red has normal HP. It's whatever player he's playing as. So if he's Byzantines, he's got good gates. If he's something else, he has got bad gates. These blue gates, also 10,000 HP. Same with these walls. Oh boy. Splash damage. Pavise plus onagers equals a whole bunch of dead champions. Unfortunately. So that's a lot of things lost from yellow. That's very unfortunate. On top of that, I think he might lose his trebuchets based on this. Because now there's nothing to protect. All of these, you can see the splash damage plus the bonus versus archers really coming into play from these Pavise Swordsmen. There's nothing to save their trebuchets from going down. And there's no distraction from the other players, so this whole force come to bear on yellow. That's unfortunate. That's great for the defenders though. If you notice, the only towers and castles, and of course the player buildings are giving vision. That gives the effect of territory loss. So look at all the towers and castles that are gone. There used to be a castle here. Gates. They don't know what's around here. So, and same with the houses. They're not owned by the players. So it gives the effect of territory. So they lost this much of the city. So that's why it's nice for attackers to destroy towers, is so that to keep the defenders guessing as to where our forces are strongest. Now, strategically, at this point, the attackers can either push and kill the production, or push the objective, or try to split up the forces and do both. I'll leave it up to you to decide which strategy is best. In my opinion, I think if you have a good and competent attackers, each one, it's good to split up the forces, with majority pushing for the production, so that they can't build any more units. But now, most of the defenders can concentrate on these forces. Here come the Pavise Swordsmen. Very slow, but very effective. They killed one trebuchet. Just one. That was some good maneuvering on my part, if I say so myself. Now, the mistake, I think, is focusing everybody here, so now the defenders can bring everything to bear. You see how the defenders are mobilizing? They realize, oh, they're not really going on this side. So now, they can bring everything to bear to protect the production. If we lose the trebuchets, which looks like it might happen, these are very high priority. If we lose this whole force, that's pretty much GG. I think we ran out of money. Yep, we lost all the trebuchets. Look at that. Oh, looked like the defenders were in trouble at certain points, but they pulled together, and they're even intercepting these conquistadors, renamed to Navarro Genitors. What I would say is, that could have changed, in my opinion, is shouldn't have lost so many trebuchets. Remember, all of these trebuchets lost here for nothing. And all of the trebuchets here that were lost for nothing. So we should have focused on killing the population earlier. That siege ram was good, but if you left... But we also should have killed these town centers and tents earlier. We should have killed these tents earlier. These were alive for much too long. And there was that attack that was focused on killing this tower. You should have just focused on just taking these tents out. The earlier you take out the population, the weaker their army is much sooner. You got champions killing pikemen, which is good. That's a good move. That's Slaughterfest right there. And now, onagers dying. That's unfortunate. I believe three onagers died. It's very bad. Attacker army has fizzled out. Look at this. Really ran out of money. That's another thing that the attackers made a mistake with is we had control of that hill over here. So if you look up here, I believe we had control of this area for a very long time. So we should have prevented the defenders from earning money from relics. That's unfortunate. Overall, very good effort from the defenders, and it's prevailed, obviously. Looks like they have plenty of units to work with, which means they were able to conserve their money. On that note, we should probably look at the game. Let's take a look at the economy. We've been chatting this whole time. So, the defenders, 4, 5, 6. 4 is out of everything except wood. 5 has balanced wood and gold, plenty of wood, plenty of food. And 6 is out of food, has wood and gold. They have their markets so they can share. So they're doing great. Attackers, I am player 1. I'm out of gold. Player 2 is also almost out of gold. Player 3 is almost out of everything. So the defenders were able to conserve everything. You notice that the mood is different in the game. Here it looks like autumn. It's the autumn mood, which represents sunset. That's another feature of this map. So it starts with night mood, and then transitions to winter mood, which represents early morning, and transitions to no mood, which represents mid to late morning, and then it switches to desert mood, which represents afternoon. Even more trebuchets lost. And then it transitions to this mood, which is the autumn mood, which is the last 5 minutes of the game. In real lifetime, 5 minutes. And then lastly, actually not. In the last 1 minute of the game, it switches to night mood. So you can see that. This means there's only 1 real life minute in the game. Also, that's a huge shot from these onagers. So it's 45 minutes of real lifetime, this game is. So even though this is being destroyed, it doesn't matter. Objective is to get in here, and we're almost out of time. It's only like... That's it. The defenders are about to win. Nothing we could have done, I think. Because you need to kill all of this in here. You need to kill all of that to win the game. So... we're about to lose. But that was a very good effort from defenders. What they did was they pulled together. They lost. You look at this. They lost this area early on, but they were able to, share their resources, grab the relics, defend where they needed to, kill a bunch of trebuchets, and just do everything right from that point on. And the attackers made a few mistakes that cost them the game. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.